Yo, stay wavy TV, ride the vibe with me, splash through your screen, drip clean like the sea, high tide energy, never on mute.
Be one person that can save the WWE from Triple H destroying it, and that person is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, you got a lot of delusional ass people out here that they like to blame The Rock for John Cena's heel turn being a disaster. Last time I checked, John Cena turning heel was not The Rock's idea. You know what was The Rock's idea? Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 40. But because the fans were crying, oh, we want Cody to finish his story, Triple H decided, nah, we're not gonna do The Rock versus Roman this year, because we really were supposed to get it at WrestleMania 39. But because The Rock has such a busy schedule, being, you know, one of the biggest actors in the world, at one point he was the highest paid actor in the world. Obviously that's not the case right now, right? The Smashing Machine absolutely bombed at box office, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? He had a conflicting schedule that didn't allow him to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. So The Rock took it upon himself to clear up his schedule, and you started seeing The Rock on the Pat McAfee show. He was on ESPN. He was doing interviews. We were supposed to get The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40. I remember when The Rock showed up, I think he was wearing like a black wife beater, and him and Roman Reigns did a face-off. Like, this was a real thing, right? They were even making the posters for The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40. And then the fans started crying all over social media. They started booing The Rock was showing up, and they were booing him. I couldn't believe it, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that's when I started watching wrestling again. Right around WrestleMania, like right after 39, 40, right? When I started seeing The Rock showing up again, I was watching at home. I was like, yo, the fans are booing The Rock after everything he did for this company? They're booing The Rock for Cody Rhodes? Stardust? Because you got to remember, like, I didn't see Cody Rhodes turn into what he is right now. I didn't watch wrestling for years. I remember Cody Rhodes being Stardust. I was like, bruh, what world are we living in? Like, The Rock is taking time out of his busy life, right, to show up to Raw and SmackDown, and the crowd is booing him. And look, I get it, right? The Rock, he retired from wrestling at the height of his career, right? At the time, he was the biggest wrestler in the world. He retired, became a full-time actor, became the highest paid actor in the world. I get it. But goddamn, bro, like, you guys, like you guys have the audacity to boo the people's champ, right? So, okay, let's talk about WrestleMania 41, right? So Cody Rhodes ends up beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. But remember, The Rock pinned Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40, right? So he pinned Cody Rhodes day one. Day two, Cody Rhodes beats Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed title. We don't get a Cody Roman rematch. Okay, cool, right? So the whole thing for WrestleMania 41 was we were supposed to get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, right? We seen The Rock showing up, you know, before WrestleMania 40, he was whooping Cody with the belt and all that, right? So The Rock shows up. I think it was an episode of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I don't remember, right? But The Rock shows up, and he basically tells Cody that I'm going to be away for a couple of months. I'm going to be gone for like 3 months because I'm going to go film a movie. But when I get back, I want that title. So we were supposed to get Cody Rhodes versus The Rock for the WWE Undisputed title. But then we hear Cody Rhodes talking about, oh, he was sipping libations with The Rock and all of this weird shit. And then The Rock comes back and tells Cody Rhodes, I want you to sell your soul to me, right? So then he gives Cody a choice. He says, listen, Cody, either you sell your soul to me and I help you become a superstar. I'm going to help you get into acting, right? Similar to what, you know, The Rock did, right? But if you don't sell your soul to me, you know, I'm going to whoop your ass, basically, right? Cody Rhodes decides not to sell his soul, right? WrestleMania 41 happens. Travis Scott shows up, helps John Cena basically turn heel. John Cena pins Cody Rhodes and gets the WWE Undisputed title, right? Now, a lot of people were pissed off at the fact that The Rock didn't show up, right? Well, why should The Rock show up? John Cena's heel turn, that wasn't his idea. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, that wasn't his idea. I just gave you guys two scenarios where Triple H went against what The Rock wanted. And let's talk about John Cena's heel turn, right? Since we like to blame The Rock, is it The Rock's fault that John Cena got his ass whooped by Brock Lesnar? Was that The Rock's fault? Because last time I checked, that was Triple H's idea. Is it The Rock's fault that John Cena in his final match tapped out the Gunther, the same Gunther who tapped out the Jey Uso at WrestleMania 41? Last time I checked, that's Triple H's fault. Was it The Rock's idea for John Cena to lose the Intercontinental Championship to Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan? Last time I checked, that was Triple H's idea. So I want you guys to think about this. Imagine if we actually got The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40. Imagine if we would have got, because this what I think would have happened. I think The Rock would have won that match, right? I think The Rock would have beat Roman. And then at WrestleMania 41, you get The Rock versus John Cena. And this will be John, because think about it, right? This year is John Cena's retirement tour, right? WrestleMania happened April of this year. So you have The Rock beat Roman for the WWE Undisputed title. And then you have a whole year of John Cena's retirement tour. What better way to start off John Cena's retirement tour than having John Cena beat The Rock at WrestleMania to become a 17-time world champion? And then, right, for John Cena's final match, you could have either a rematch between John Cena and The Rock, or you could have John Cena versus Randy Orton, right? The Legend Killer, shout out to Randy Orton. Or you could have Cody Rhodes finish his story. What better way to put Cody Rhodes over than to have Cody Rhodes beat John Cena in his final match and become a WWE Undisputed Champion? So don't tell me this is The Rock's fault. Don't tell me that. Because every time The Rock comes up with a good idea, Triple H goes against it. And I think this has a lot to do with Triple H and The Rock having beef with each other back in the day when they were both full-time wrestlers. Because Triple H has always been jealous of The Rock. The only reason why Triple H is in the position that he's in is because he was the boss's son-in-law. He married Stephanie McMahon. We've heard so many former pro wrestlers talk about how Triple H sabotaged them backstage. There were plenty of matches that Triple H was supposed to lose, but because he cried and got on his knees for Vince, he ended up winning those matches. A lot of matches that he won, he shouldn't have won. He screwed over a lot of people to get to the top, bro. The Rock didn't do that. Yes, The Rock had a father that was a former pro wrestler, but bro, The Rock worked his ass off, bro. He worked his ass off. The Rock, cuts some of the greatest promos in WWE history. That's something you got to work at being good at, man. The Rock, he can make the crowd laugh. The Rock, he can be a babyface and he can be a heel. You know what I'm saying? So these guys, they've had tension with each other. But, shout out to Jonathan Coachman. I don't know if you guys remember who that is, but Jonathan Coachman was the one that broke the story that, The Rock and Triple H, they keep butting heads behind the scenes. And I think the reason why you're just not seeing The Rock show up anymore is because he's telling Triple H to kiss his ass. He's like, listen, Triple H, since you think that you're so good at your job and you think that you have the best ideas, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna let you do what you want to do, and I'm gonna show you how stupid you are. And I think it's working because the fans realize now that Triple H has no idea what he's doing, bro. He has absolutely no idea what he's doing. he actually thinks that Gunther is the future of the WWE. He thinks Walter is the future of the WWE, bro. Bro, does Gunther even sell merch? Like, bro, when have you guys ever seen somebody wearing Gunther merch? Like, bro, like, if we're being honest, bro, Dominic Mysterio is a bigger star than Gunther. If we're being honest, like, if we're just keeping it real, Dominic Mysterio is a bigger star than Gunther, bro. Like, Gunther's not a star, bro. He's not a star, and he never will be. By the way, Gunther's already 39 years old. He turns 40 next year. So you're telling me a 39-year-old is the future of the company? Get the fuck out of here, man. Nobody's ever going to take Gunther serious after he lost to Sami Zayn and he got tapped out by Jey Uso. Nobody's ever going to take that man serious ever again. So, what better time for The Rock to dedicate himself full-time to the WWE than right now? Because The Rock's acting career is not really doing so good, man. He put out a movie called The Smashing Machine this year where he's playing an MMA fighter. And that movie absolutely bombed at box office, bro. Like, it's the lowest performing box office movie of The Rock's career. Movies in general aren't really doing what they used to do, but, you know, we're talking about The Rock. You know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is an A-list actor. Like I said, this guy used to be the highest paid actor in the world. So, ever since he put out that Black Adam movie, his acting career has been on a downward trajectory. So, I think it would be a good thing if The Rock, you know, took a year or two off from acting full-time. Still do movies here and there, but just not do it full-time, right? And dedicate a majority of your time to the WWE. You know? Come back. And I think The Rock could convince TKO to fire Triple H. Right? If there's ever a better time to fire Triple H, it's right. Right now is the best time ever. Because the entire WWE universe agrees that John Cena's heel turn was a disaster. John Cena's final match was a disaster, right? We're seeing SmackDown get less than a million views on Channel USA. We're seeing Raw and Netflix that debuted with 6 million views. They're barely getting 2.2 million views a week. They weren't even in the top 10 on Netflix for last week. They weren't even in the top 10. So if anybody can convince TKO to fire Triple H, it's The Rock. It's The Rock. You know, The Rock is way more popular than Triple H. He has a way bigger following, right? And he has a better track record than Triple H. Right now, bro, Triple H is looking like a complete idiot. All you got to do is go on Twitter, go on TikTok, and just type in Triple H. Everybody's bashing him, bro. So I think The Rock could easily convince TKO to get Triple H fired. The problem with that is The Rock going to take over that position as the content chief creator, which is basically the booker? And is The Rock going to fully dedicate himself to being the booker for Raw, SmackDown, and PLEs? That's the problem right there. Now, I wouldn't be mad if Shawn Michaels took over that position, because Shawn Michaels does a phenomenal job with NXT. I watched NXT last night. Like, bro, I keep telling you guys in my videos, man, NXT is better than Raw and SmackDown, bro. I don't watch Raw and SmackDown, but for you guys, I'm going to start watching Raw and SmackDown again. I will be watching this week's episode of SmackDown because I see you guys are liking the videos. So even though I said after John Cena's final match that I was no longer going to support the WWE, I'm going to do it just for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, bro, like, we're the ones that can fix this, man. As long as we keep, you know, vocalizing our frustration with Triple H's shitty job as the booker, you know, eventually we're going to get what we want, right? It's just like when R-Truth got fired and we all crashed out on the internet, and less than a week later he was rehired, right? We got to keep doing this, man. We got to keep speaking up until we get a good product. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, leave a comment. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out.
Yeah, that's up, let it ring, that's the vibe, that's the thing. Wave after wave, we gon' rock, keep it locked, stay in sync. Stay Wavy TV, you know the name. Ring that bell, let it sing. We out of here, but you know we coming back. Catch me on the next wave.